Rose, and earlier today we took the skin and the thorns off of our paddle cactus, and now we're going to make a stir fry using shrimp and paddle cactus and some very simple ingredients. So to get started, let me get you on my tripod. Because I'm going to have the camera on a tripod, it will be a little challenging for me to try to answer comments while I'm cooking, but I will at some point go ahead and look to check the comments or go back later and answer any questions that there might be. But to get started, we have a frying pan here that's got olive oil in it that's been heating and it's hot. Oops. Oh yeah, and we have some quinoa back here too. We're going to be using some quinoa. But to start, let's go ahead and put our paddle cactus in our frying pan. This is going to be a very simple stir fry. And one of the things that I like to use the most with paddle cactus is garlic. So this is about 4 large cloves of garlic, loosely chopped. And that's 2 paddles of paddle cactus also. If you caught my video earlier, we took the skin and thorns off the paddle cactus. And now we're going to cook the paddle cactus. We're going to know it's cooked when it looks a lot like stir-fried bell peppers. That's the first thing we're going to do. And I've got this a little hotter than medium. Now we're going to make this paddle cactus stir fry really simple. We're going to be using some seasonings like bay, right? Because bay is a great seasoning for seafood such as shrimp. And our shrimp right over here, while we're waiting to add this in, I actually have it in a bowl on some ice to keep it cold because we don't want our seafood to get to be the wrong temperature, right? We want to keep everything cold. And we have some very basic pepper. We're going to use some fresh ground pepper. We're going to use some fresh ground Himalayan sea salt. I also like Redmond ancient sea salt. And I think we'll add a little bit of paprika in too. But to start, it's going to be really important to get our paddle cactus well cooked. Again, you don't want to eat it raw. You don't want to have any bad tummies out there. And since I'm stirring this, I'm actually going to turn this up on higher heat. See if we can get this going. I wouldn't put it on high if you weren't supervising it, but I am supervising it, so we will give it a try that way. And I always use a lot of garlic with the paddle cactus. I feel like it makes all the difference in the world for flavor. If you were to use a little animal fat in this, it would have a taste a lot like collards, with the texture of a bell pepper. You can see it actually really looks like we're stir-frying bell peppers, right? You can see a lot of the liquid content is coming out of the cactus. And I think let's go ahead and add our bay seasoning in, right? Let's get that in there. And thanks for the thumbs up. That bay flavor in there. Now you can use a lot of different flavors for this stir fry that we're making. Sometimes I like to use a chili sauce, and I make my own chili sauces. And you can get pretty creative with that. We're going to make this really simple tonight for someone to be able to make with whatever they have on hand. And let's say you were intimidated by the whole process for peeling the paddle cactus. You can actually buy Nepalis in the grocery store. So if you don't want to deal with the whole harvesting the paddle cactus and peeling it, or say maybe you don't have a paddle cactus growing in your backyard like we do, just go buy some at your grocery store and then you can skip dealing with all those thorns, right? So for now we're cooking this down. And it's not going to take that long. Let's go ahead and add some salt and pepper in there. While we have all this moisture content, I think it'll be easier to get the flavors to blend in with the seasoning. And I think I'm going to use a teaspoon of paprika. That might be a little much. Another thing that you could add would be crushed red pepper if you like a little more kick to your food. That would be pretty good. And let's go ahead and add our shrimp in. This is about 1.5 cups of shrimp that's been peeled and deveined. This is going to cook pretty fast here. And I just buy whatever kind of frozen shrimp's on sale. And I don't buy any fresh seafood here because we are so far away from the ocean. I only buy it frozen. And I bought this shrimp on sale at Albertsons. And I think this is maybe 16-20, maybe it's a smaller size. I can't remember for sure. But we'll get our shrimp cooked, then we'll add in our orange juice and our quinoa. And this is going to be a quickly thrown together meal. It'll be delicious. I'm going to turn the heat down to medium now. I think we have our paddle cactus cooked, and this is a big burner. Something else you could do at this point if you wanted is you could put a glass lid over this, right? It'd be kind of like steaming the shrimp, but we're just going to do it the way we're doing it. And I have my phone on a tripod, so I can't really see comments all that well right now, but I will go back and look at the comments here as soon as we're finished cooking, and or possibly after we eat, whichever comes sooner. Let's go ahead and add our orange juice. And this is half a squeezed orange. I find orange and bay to be really good flavors with shrimp. Now you don't want to overcook the shrimp, but you do want to make sure it's cooked, and I think we're ready to add our quinoa in, so let's get that. This is probably about 3 cups of quinoa. So we can get all this flavor in here. It's going to be very good. Now, if you weren't into shrimp, let's say if you were a vegetarian or a vegan, you could just throw black beans in there. That would be pretty good. Give you some protein. I really like quinoa as a grain because actually it's very high protein. All right, this is looking pretty awesome. We're going to go ahead and let's see if we have any comments. I'm going to turn the heat down to low. And we'll plan to come back with a hubby taste test here when we serve the meal. All right, let me see if I can get my phone off the tripod. Bear with me here. Okay, so I see we have 2 comments here, one from Ethan and another one from Bon. I'm having a great day, thank you. And oh, hello, thank you. I hope you like our doggy too. Thanks for watching. Dinner's ready.